Hello, welcome to Ghost Prime Transformers Reviews. This video will be taking a look at Studio Series 86 Scourge. Now, this is the newest version of this character we have gotten. We've gotten many throughout the years. In my opinion, this is definitely the best one. Scourge was originally designed by Floro and looked very different in the original design. He had a lot of mechanical bits showing, a lot of pieces and parts, and then he was revised to cover up those parts, and then revised one more time to give him more of a heroic sort of stance with a wider shoulders, kind of look. And that was depicted, the one depicted in the 86 movie. And in the 86 movies, it was Thundercracker who became Scourge. And that is the back art of this version that comes with the backing. That's what it depicts. And I think that's a very cool backing. I'll go over that in the review. Scourge is definitely one you could troop build because he had sweeps. He had many copies of himself and they would go with him wherever he go. There was a bunch of them. He is the troop builder. And God, I love this guy. The face, the way he looks, the beard, I just really dig. I always have since I was a kid. So without any further ado, let's get to the review. All right, let's take a look at the packaging real quick. He comes in normal standard Studio Series 86 packaging. We do see the 86 right here, if I could get it in focus. And it is the 5th. And we see a depiction of Scourge right there. Looking very, very menacing. A little wide, but very menacing. I love that rendition with the nice pink fingernails. Very cool. On the side, we get a close-up of his face. And with the Studio Series logo, and then 86 at the top. On the other side, we have the 86 logo, and we have the picture of Scourge right there. On the back, we see Scourge with his gun and his blast effect that he comes with, and then him in the space boat mode. And there he is with his backdrop. Of course, no self-respecting bot would come without instructions, and he has instructions, which are nice, clear instructions, done in purple and gray, just depicting all 3 modes. Yes, 3. It's more of a 2.5. But it is something you can do, and it is in the instructions. He also comes with his blaster rifle, which has a 5mm peg for his hand to hold, and it has a 5mm peg there, so you could plug it in on boat mode. And he could also have this little tip here, which he has a blast effect for. And he comes with this purple blast effect piece, kind of a swirly, goopy looking thing that goes off the end. Like so. And one of the nicer features of the Studio Series boxes is you get this wonderful backdrop. This one is, they've all been pretty good, and this one is no exception on that. Just looks great. I absolutely love this. This is really cool. So let's just see real quick how he looks with the figure. It's a shame that I don't have enough room to put these on my shelves because these are really good. And this one is just, it's my favorite. I love the colors on it. It looks like straight out of the movie. It's just great. And of course, here we have the figure himself. And damn, this guy looks good. Like really, really good. He does have a bit of the backpack. He's some space boat bits on the wings, but it's not too bad. It cleans up very nicely and definitely has a nice winged look, especially with these pieces coming out here. It's just wickedly cool. I love all the detail on him. He looks very, very good. And of course, he does hold his rifle in either hand, actually. This is a 5mm port in here, but he comes with an open hand, which is something new with a one open and one closed hand. I actually think this depicts the character very, very well. It gives it a little bit of personality, which is just great, and it's a nice addition. There he is with his gun. He does have ports here, here. You can actually double the shoulders as ports, which is, it's actually part of the character design, but it doubles as a 5mm port, which is very cool, and he has a 5mm port in the back. Check him out a little close up and look at that face sculpt, if it is in focus. This face sculpt is depicted just beautifully. I really dig this. Very, very, very cool. And you can see the Decepticon logo on his chest. The detail rolling down to his abdomen, on the arm. Just great detail throughout. The pink nails. He doesn't have the pink on the feet though, but he has really, really good detail. Exactly what detail that you would think on this guy. I'm glad he's not over detailed. They could have easily over detailed him. Getting into comparisons before we do anything else, let's check out him against his movie counterpart, the cartoon version right here. And the cartoon version, this is pretty much the same pose that we saw him in when he was created. And so you can see how he matches up there. Pretty decently, I must say. And here he is next to his Generation 1 counterpart. He's a little shorter, but I love the update. Here he is next to the original Classics Chug Generations. Don't remember which line this was in. Scourge. This was the last one I got and the one mainstay in my collection until this one, which now this one has been replaced. It still is a really cool Earth mode, but and I love this figure, but just a leap in design and aesthetics for me in this new Studio Series 1. Just an excellent rendition of the character. And very, very faithful. I'm moving on with some comparisons. There he is, if I get him to stand up. Next to the Titans Return. I think it's Titan Returns. Galvatron. I do hope we get a new one of these guys, because this one's definitely not the best. Almost there. Here he is. Next to Kingdom Cyclonus. Wonderful scale on these two. Both Voyager figures, wonderful scale. And here he is next to Thundercracker. Alright, so getting into articulation on this guy real fast. His arm is on a peg, and it will go all the way around. But you have to move the wing, which is also movable like this and like this. So he does have 360 at the shoulder. He has a pretty good range for his shoulder there. Bicep swivel. He has about 90 at the elbow. This joint is obscenely tight, and it's very hard for me to move it, but it does have a 360 degree rotation on it. He has waist articulation, which is 360. Let's do his head real quick. His head's on a ball joint, so it goes up and down about that far. You don't want to try to push it too much further. You can go all the way around 360. Now, no light piping on this one. Oddly enough, you can turn his little head crest all the way around. I don't know if it counts for articulation, but it is a thing you could do. You could turn it all the way around, and it's honestly completely unnecessary to do so, but you could do it. His legs go up about that much. It's not terrible, but it could be a little bit more. And his leg goes back about this far. If you move the wing out of the way, maybe this piece up, you can actually get it back pretty far. Out about like that. Knee bend about 90. No front and back toe, but you do have a minor ankle swivel there. Oh, and something that's interesting, these are very tight. He does have a bit of rotation in the leg, but he likes to pop off if I go too far. So you can. The leg is kind of an interesting sort of a joint here, something I haven't seen. I don't know if another Transformer has done this, where it has this piece here, and to fill it in, it has this filling in the gap that would be here, so it's not hollow. They're really taking a lot of things into account in order to make these not hollow, which is kind of a weird way to do it. So you can actually twist a leg. It's just very tight and hard to do so. But you can still get some great poses out of him just by how he's made. All right, and getting into transformation. Transformation is fairly simple on this guy. So what you want to do is you want to take his legs, and there is a tab here, and there's a slot there, and you just want to tab his legs together. And we could do this now. You'd like to take the heels rotate them inward, and then take the toes and rotate them inward. So the toes are sitting on top of the heels. And so you have this piece just like this. And move his arms so they're straight. Keep in mind, he is a shell former. Scourge is actually the first shell former. And so what we want to do is, there are joints here, and you want to separate this piece from the chest, and to move it down like that. You do that on both sides. Move the arm out. We'll just untab that all the way, and there is a tab right there on the leg. Right here. And what that will do is tab into, which is kind of an interesting tab hole, because it's also a screw hole right there. Again, they're really really pushing design aesthetics on these guys, which I love it. I really think it's cool. It's just some impressive thought. A lot of thought, a lot of love, a lot of thought went into a lot of these figures, which just amazes me. And so this is what we have now. So next we want to go to the back, which you have these pieces here, the wing, and we just want to straighten them out. And there's a panel here, and then there's a panel that's folded up here. You want to unfold that, kind of line these up the best you can. This is one thing that they don't line up super straight, and you always have this gap, which is really irritating. So you kind of want to do that on both sides. Like so. And then these will untab from here. There's tabs here, right there, that'll untab. Then you want to take this back piece, move it up like this. I'm going to get this wing out so you can actually see what I'm doing here. And pull this whole section back. You see this whole assembly that sits inside the chest here. So then you just kind of want to unfold it. Like that. For right now. And then take this piece here that we just unfolded. There's this piece, this round piece becomes the back of the head. Just make sure you straighten that. I'll put that right over the head crest. So you get something that looks like this. And keep that like that. Straighten this out. This is the piece that, this will eventually lay down like this. And there's these two tabs here and tabs right in here. But I'm going to transform into his halfway mode first, just to show you guys what it looks like. So for that, it's an exposed face mode. Just move this up. Take these, make sure these are down, straight like this. And then what you want to do is you want to take these, there's two hinges here, fold them in. Let's put these kind of up a little bit. And there's these tabs right there. So you can get that in focus. You can see there is a hole right there, the tabs together. So these will tab in with this. So these will close entirely, and you want to get these tabs here in the nose to line up. Like that. Pinch those together. Get this tabbed into the side there. It is kind of a little bit fiddly a bit. Put that together. Then you want to take, there's a little tab, it's hard to see, right there, and a slot right there. So we want to make sure that's on there, which is always a pain in the ass. More so on camera, apparently. I usually don't have this kind of trouble. There we go. Tab those on. Oh, and like I said, these panels give me trouble too. Cover the arms up with the panels. Make sure they line up. So we have this. When you have everything lined up, that's kind of what we have. Actually, I think these go out in this mode, but so he has the head exposed bit. Kind of like in the movie. Maybe an animation error, who knows. This is silly to me and unnecessary. So to get this back into, or fully into his boat mode, let's just open these up a bit. And then we'll take this, two pegs there, put those two pegs on the legs. Push them in, they hold pretty tightly. Take this piece, put that over. to cover up the face. Then we do the same bit. Make sure these are tabbed in there. On either side, they will probably pop off. So these panels don't line up the best, like especially these two pieces. You don't want to take that. And then you want to take, there's a tab right in here, right there, and right there. So you kind of, it's hard to see, but make sure they're all tabbed up on both sides. Let's kind of squeeze it all together. There we go. Move these up in case you moved them down. And there he is in his space boat mode. And overall, I think he looks pretty good in this mode. So for gimmicks, you can take the blast effect and stick it on there. And since it has this peg on the gun here, you can take it and put it on the side of the boat where there is a peg. And so you can arm him up like that. This will actually fit on any of these. So it would have been cool to have 3 of them. Or maybe you could also use them for blast effect pieces. But one of the things I always adored on the original is that there's this Decepticon logo that's in 2 pieces that come together to form the single logo. Love it. They do it again on this. He's got some just really nice detail throughout the entire thing. I really, really like this. I don't think this looks bad at all. I love how this cleans up all together with the head crest and how it goes to the back with the circle. It's a very cool little feature, design feature. It's got some very nice detail on them all the way around. I mean, they don't really hold back on the detailing. So with that, let's do some comparisons. So first for comparisons, let's compare him to his cartoon model right there. And as you can see, there's a little bit of differences, as this one takes a more toy look. Still very cool. Here he is with his Generation 1 counterpart. As you can see, the same toy look here. Here's how they look together. Roughly the same size. And there's that Decepticon logo. It splits into 2. Very cool. And here he is with his Classics or Chug Generations version. Definitely going for a more real world look rather than the space boat. Like I said, still a cool figure in its own right. It's just been surpassed in my book. And just real quick, here's how the 2 compare in vehicle mode, Cyclonus and Scourge. Definitely a sizable difference due to Cyclonus's fold-out transformation, but they look just wonderful together. Almost worth getting a couple more of these, another one of these, just to have them in robot and mode and jet mode, just because they look beautiful. So it goes without saying that I absolutely adore this figure, highly recommend it. While it's not without its flaws, it is a very good depiction of the character and the best one we've got. I did pass on the Titan's Return because I just did not like it at all. It was too boxy for me. It did not fit what Scourge is. The titanium one also had a weird design, and they just hit the nail on the head with this one. While it's not perfect, especially in the posability department, and some of the panels don't really line up with the back, it's still very good in both modes and looks amazing. I absolutely love this and am picking up another one for myself and maybe a couple more just to have the sweeps in the background and a nice display. I absolutely love it and I just highly, highly recommend it. They do a really good job. He's got a transformation that I've done multiple times. His joints are super tight. His posability is decent. They do some really nice things with the just how things connect and the joints and these other things and the body. And some cost-saving measures like the legs. I can highly recommend it. Really good. I could go on and on and on about the design and the aesthetics of this figure, but if you don't have it, pick it up for yourself. I think you're going to like it. So if you like this video, hit that thumbs up button. Hit the thumbs down vote button if you have to. Subscribe. I'll see you guys next time.